Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How is everyone doing on this fine Sunday? Almost said Saturday. Hi, I'm Jay. Oh, where's the other guy? There he is. There he is.
Oh,
He is a Viking no more. He's just plain old Willis.
good old Willis. How we
Coming off
doing?
a 12-hour stream. Good for you.
Yeah, it
That's
was fun.
pretty sweet.
Well, I pulled off that Viking aesthetic pretty well.
Yeah, you're a little low. Your mic's a little low.
What happened?
Yeah, I actually JT wants to see your New York attitude. I was going to ask you. You sent me a bunch of sweet pictures from the Nintendo store.
Hey, yo. Hey, we don't talk about that here, yeah?
Yeah,
Get out of here.
yeah. And so, for those of you who have not been to the Nintendo store, Will, why don't you tell everybody what kind of cool stuff you can find? That Zelda mug, Tears of the Kingdom specifically.
Oh, yeah. Whoop. Oh, this bad boy.
But would you say it's worth a trip to that actual Nintendo store? Do you think it's worth the price of admission?
Not like a long distance trip, but if you're in the area, I would think definitely it's worth a stop. The two stores that I really enjoyed like shopping in there was that and the Lego store.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Lego
Oh, you
store
betcha.
was incredible, and like the Nintendo store is super cool too. It's just there's so much stuff in it, and I don't know. It was really neat. I would recommend it if you're in the area and it's not like a super long drive or you're heading to New York City at some point. I would recommend at least like going.
Well, you said that mug was like $20 or whatever, right?
Mhm.
Like it's just standard prices. So I think that's good. Well, they could easily charge Disney prices for stuff like that. So
Oh yeah, yeah. I was telling Jay before we started the stream where my wife and I we went to the Disney store first, and she wanted to get a backpack because she had her purse and she just felt more safe having like a little backpack to put stuff in instead of like touting her purse on her shoulder. We're like, cool, we'll go look for one, and we were looking one at the Disney store just for something cute, like some Mickey Mouse one. It was like $150 US, and we're like, I ain't paying that much.
$150 for a bag.
Yeah,
That's
and it's like it's not like a full backpack; it's like one of those like smaller backpacks, right?
that's purely for carrying around of logo Mickey Mouse because it can't carry anything else besides
Yeah.
just having a logo on it.
So then we went to the Nintendo store and we were looking around. I saw a Zelda one. It has like the Triforce on it, and it's a nice green color, and it has like nice like details on it and such. And it was only $35. Well, Zelda's cooler than Mickey Mouse. Sorry, Disney.
100%. And I mean, the Disney store is so overpriced that we had one in our city here and now it's gone,
Yeah.
completely shut down because it was too much. I remember we got that around the time Force Awakens came out. And I remember going there just looking at all the stuff because they had some figures and stuff that you couldn't get anywhere else. And it's just overpriced for little 2-inch, badly painted versions of the characters. I'm like, yeah.
Hmm? Yeah, I
Nah.
have a few of those figures, and they're not great.
No, it makes the remember the first couple waves of the Black Series? Remember when, like Poe Dameron and stuff, how bad they look?
Yeah. And
Those
we used to
look
make fun
good,
of
didn't
that.
they? Yeah.
And you remember when the Leia first came out, and we were trying to find one, and
Oh,
like the eyeball was painted like on 4 different like figures that we found of Leia. Like the eyeball was like up here,
yeah.
here, and then like one was kind of on the eyeball, but then it was like inside. We're like, what is going on?
The Disney store is not cool. The only cool thing they had, they would have like they had like Finn's jacket and like Kylo Ren's jacket, but they're for like kids. And I
Mm.
getting all mad. I'm like, why can't I have this? And everyone's like, because it's for children. It's children's movie. I'm
To be
like,
fair, you are pretty much the size of a child, so you might have fit in one.
I'm pretty small. I'm only like 4'11", so yeah. I mean, they could have
Um,
fit, but
yeah, it was just kind of crazy the difference in price. But I will say at the Disney store, that's where I found that sweet Kylo Ren mug that I keep using. That's my favorite purchase from the Disney store.
oh yeah, yeah. I had a similar one, but I made the mistake of putting it in the washer and it melted his face off. So it
Mm.
was just a black blob, and I was like, doesn't really work. Look at
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
We got JT here. He has taken the crown away from Cutthroat. Cutthroat sleeping in again on a Sunday morning on
Cutthroat is
Memorial Day.
slacking off.
So JT is the new king of the morning. Matt Rubin is here, and then Matt transforms. Watch this into an Autobot symbol. So that's pretty cool. We're doing good, buddy. How you doing? I like your new picture. It's awesome. Den of Geek is here. What's up, pop culture historians? Patrick, good morning. Good to see you. Severus, the mighty Dale has arrived. Crow, you're here. Good to see you. And yeah, we're ready to jump into the pages of EGM 19. I think 19.
I say there's a typo on your stream.
Is it 19? Yeah, there we go.
It is 19, but you put it as a label, but you have 18 on the background.
Oh, I forgot to change that. I forgot to change. Well, the production value is going down. It's just going down.
Pro Strimmer.
All right, let's get this up and running. Ready to rock. Hey, look, it's the best mascot of all time on the cover.
Bonk. Or do you mean the wording for Super Mario 4?
No, bonk. And you know what? I got to say, I don't think I remember seeing a game hyped so much in EGM. Like, they started hyping Super Mario 4, like pretty much the entire time we've been reading through these.
Mm-hmm.
And it still has not shown up yet. So come on, Nintendo, release Super Mario Brothers 4 for God's sake.
I don't know. It feels like it's forever. Is that just like how we just live nowadays, though? It's because like we have this expectation of things coming out like monthly now, but back in the day, it used to be like years between big releases.
Yeah, well, it did, and back then, dude, we didn't have release dates.
Yeah, it's just like they come out when they say it's coming.
Yeah, it would be. Remember, it would, like EGM would be like Q3, Q4. It's like, okay, so yeah, I mean, we had no idea, so we're pretty lucky now.
Mm.
But yeah, the sequels, I mean, it wasn't as sparse as it is today. I mean, you could argue there's a lot more that goes into them now, but I don't know. Bonk's Revenge was great. Then we got Air Zonk, and we got Bonk 3 and Super Bonk, and Bonk on NES, and Bonk all night long. I think it started to
Air
wear
Zonk
out.
is like a spin-off of Bonk, right?
Yeah,
I never played that one, but yeah.
it's great. It's a shooter. It's a side-scrolling shooter. Yeah, so Bonk flies and stuff. It's like his, I think it's like his, not his ancestor, his future, whatever. And it's like he turns into a robot and stuff like that. It's pretty flippin' sweet. Maniac Mansion, the famous LucasArts game. Did you play this on NES?
No, I played that one on PC.
Yeah, that's where it's from. But we got, remember we got this on NES. I didn't even actually know that this was a computer game, but a lot of these point and click adventures were obviously from PC. I'm surprised they put this on the NES. They had to revise it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one
I don't see how that would work well on like the controller.
point and click. It's a little rough, but there's a part in the game where you put a hamster in the microwave, and I think they cut it out and re-released it with that part out, I think. But it's still surprising that this came out on NES. Good afternoon, TJ. I see B-Man as well. How are you guys?
Hi, friends.
You had Jalico, so this wasn't even like a LucasArts translation of the game. I want to go back and play this one. Son of a lips. Whew. Are you ready to read?
Oh, I was born ready.
Lots of great stuff to look forward to in this issue. So let's get to it. What the hell is this? Clash Ball. Get the hell out of here. No one cares about your Clash Balls.
Insert coin.
Yeah, did you, Crow, did you ever finish it? God, I would like to think I did, but I don't remember. That would be one that we called the Nintendo hotline for 100%. Yeah, Matt says it was always weird. The first point and click actually had you type commands in. What was that, like Leisure Suit Larry and stuff like that? Probably. Oh, there's a lot of words.
You can do it. I believe in
Let's
you.
what now? Let's watch a video. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, why can't we have video telling us what happens in magazines? If only that was a thing.
Well, I came across a video. I don't know if I mentioned this, that EGM like panel from like 2 years ago. It was like all the editors back together
Oh,
at a Comic Con. It's pretty cool.
I was talking about our show.
Oh, I have ideas, but we need to carve out some time to have a meeting about some of these ideas.
A
Yeah.
meeting? God damn, that makes it sound so official.
Well, yeah.
When
I
have
mean,
we ever been official around here?
everyone's so busy, right? Like we gotta carve out some time and meet about that. But we got ideas. We got ideas. Um, the shape of games to come. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The title of this semi-annual self-appraisal to the state of the video game industry and what the future holds for game players everywhere is fairly self-explanatory, but may need a bit of clarification following last month's dim assessment of the direction we seem to be going. My God, easy. Can you just use real words? While the theme of last month's editorial was one of caution, the point that can never be denied is the relentless need for constant evolution to ensure that the ever changing and ever challenging product mix is available at both the software and hardware levels.
So,
True. Sorry.
I was
Go.
gonna say that brings up a good point. Like this is years back, but like we're reckoning it to nowadays where we were talking about like we feel like AAA development is like very stagnated because it's all kind of the same. No one's making like a nice mix or variety of titles.
Right.
All the consoles are pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Like, and now people are like, I want to play all these games over and over again because they're the same thing. So this
That's
is kind of like a hindsight, like they're kind of predicting the future. Like, yeah, if we don't have variety and keep trying to push the envelope and improve things and take risks, here we are.
But you have to allow your artists to do that, right? And that's
Hmm.
where the big corporations ultimately fail because of course there's going to be a dollar risk in anything, but you have to do that. That's how you get Super Mario, that's how you get Sonic and all these wacky ideas, is that you have people that believe in the art. But I mean, we saw in the video game crash of 83, 84, that's exactly what happened, where the market was flooded with black background space shooters, Space Invaders, Galaxy and Galaga, and then a million others that just copied it. And everyone was just like, I'm done with it. I think it's not as dire right now, but I think we're heading that way.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I mean, it's gone through decades, right? This isn't the first time that the game industry has faced that. So yeah, it is kind of comforting to see. I hope it doesn't happen, but
I don't think we'll get to that point. But
okay. True, this does make the job of the manufacturers that much harder, as well as that must be riskier, but it doesn't mean that the quest for superior gaming is always in vain. On the contrary, there are some really wild products in development that should keep the blood of the industry pumping for some time to come. All right, Radio Voice, I tag you in.
radio voice. What? Huh?
We'll share the load.
The most eagerly anticipated new product of 1991 will surely be the next the next of the eight. Sorry, man, I can't talk.
Whoa.
Listen, I just streamed for like 13 hours. Leave me alone. So the next of the 16-bit super systems, the Nintendo SFX. That's a stupid name. With a tentative release date of September, the SFX. Oh my god, I hate it. Will hit these shores with no less than 24 solid game titles in tow, including hot arcade properties from leading third-party producers like Final Fight, Gradius 3, Ghouls and Ghosts 3, and R-Type 2. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah. The packaging of the system is still a mystery. How does Nintendo get the system, power cord, hookup cables, and pack in game together for under $200. Wow. Yeah, because like what did the Xbox here and the PlayStation? They're like 4.99, 5.99.
Digital 4.99, disc 6.99.
Yeah, crazy. $200.
And I remember buying the 3DO. It was 7.99. No word of a lie from
That's
Microplay.
that's too much.
So yeah, again, not to derail what we're talking about here, but when people
No.
say gaming is getting expensive, gaming was always expensive.
Yeah. I think it's just
Always.
it's a broader audience who's never really experienced getting into it, and they're like, "Why does this stuff cost so much?" Because it always has.
Well, it's
Expensive,
rough
man.
when you're looking at 6.99 Canadian for PS5, and for just a few $100 more, you can get a really, really great gaming PC.
Yeah.
Right? It's rough. So anyway, continue.
When it costs that much for just their basic system, two controllers in Japan. But if Nintendo plays their cards right with a Super Mario 4 pack in, we'll see million plus sales by the end of next year. The strength of handheld systems will level off next year with the Game Boy continually energized by strong software support that simply isn't much fun to play. What? Continually
This just
energized by strong software support that simply isn't much fun to play?
the way that these editors, and Den and I were talking about this the other day. Like it's not us, man. I mean, we're not the greatest of readers, true, but the way this stuff is laid out is just, it doesn't make sense. Anyway,
Yeah, like he's saying like it's energized by strong software, which means there'd be great titles, but then they're saying that it's not fun to play. Like what? How's that even make sense? Yeah.
yeah, I could tell you. Good morning, or sorry, Ghetto. How you doing, buddy?
Morning,
Good to see
Ghetto.
you.
Several titles will do well, and the rest will sit in store shelves. Game Gear will make a slight impact, but the quality is a step backwards from what Sega fans are now becoming accustomed to on the Genesis. Lynx will enjoy more software that will show off the system, but price will still be an issue for widespread numbers, something that may or may not affect the Turbo Express extended console. Hmm.
As far as the games go, expect to see a whole lot of mediocre on the Nintendo, but keep your eyes peeled for the occasional super hit that will appear from time to time. The Genesis will remain a powerhouse for some time, but more effort needs to be engineered into the games so that new types of play mechanics are introduced instead of the tire old, true scrolling shooters, which will hit in a wave in 1991. The Turbo will still enjoy the usual mix of good and bad and an effort to bring some hot stuff to the screen. It will appear in 1991, but NEC, has to continue to press third-party support from Japan, either under their own label of independence to make the Turbo the super machine it can be. The future of the video game industry is filled with bright lights. All we need to do is see through the fog of price discounts and poor quality games that surrounds them. Wow, Steve. That's Debbie Downer, buddy. Wow,
A
wow.
lot of negativity in this write up. They all seem very down on things.
Yeah, I
Nothing
remember
good.
last issue they got, everyone was like crapping on him and stuff like that. So maybe they're like a little bit salty. Cutthroat, thank you very much. Appreciate that, dude. Yeah. Well, there's your editorial. Happy Sunday, everybody. Steve is a very PD positive today.
Video games crisis.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's the power of the ultimate warrior. And Hulk Hogan. Oh boy. Let's scan these. This is, I think, almost my favorite section is the letters to the editor. How many do we have here? We got a couple pages. Okay. So I'll start here with Giga Drive. I have no idea what this is. I called. I'm pretty sure you can't just look up in the phone book back in the day and see like Sega's number. Maybe you can. I don't know, but it's just funny. I called Sega and asked them about the Giga Drive. They said there is no such thing and hung up on me because I'm an idiot. And then they said that you made it up and there is no System 32 up and running, future boy. They also said that if you look real close at the picture in issue number 16 of the so-called Giga Drive, you'd see it is a drawing. So, I would like to know, what do you have to say about this? That's Jimmy Baps.
Oh,
Jimmy
Jimmy Baps.
Batstill from somewhere Atlanta. Christoph and Batstan, good morning. Good to see you.
Morning.
Well, Jimmy, these are kind of problems we run into. What? These are the kind of problems we run into when we either know more than the company does, know more than the company wants us to know,
Dun,
or
dun,
know
dun.
more than the company wants you to know, Jimmy. With regards to your questions in the System 32, a code name for Sega's new 32-bit arcade machine, is indeed up and running. In Japan, that is. Last September, the JAMA, the Japanese arcade show, one game, Rad Mobile, was quite playable, by the way, Jimmy. The photo we ran in issue 16 was not an illustration. Rather, it was an actual B&W photo of the motherboard of that System 32. And as the Mega Drive Genesis was born from their 16-bit arcade system, it is not difficult to imagine the Giga Drive emerging from this new System 32. Jimmy, you idiot.
Yeah,
But
Jimmy.
it is probably that 1991 will be the year of the CD-ROM wars that would make the 1992 the earliest the next generation of Sega's machines would appear. That is, unless NEC makes the 32-bit jump first. For the love of God, we haven't even hit like 16-bit plateaus yet. It's been out for 6 seconds.
The old
Jimmy?
CD-ROM wars.
Okay, Jimmy.
Do you think Jimmy made it out of the CD-ROM wars?
I don't think Jimmy made it past this issue. He saw the response and he was ashamed. And he's like, you know what? I don't need you. I don't need any friends. I'm going to create my own social network and I'm going to call it Facebook. And then Jimmy made Facebook. Your turn.
Mind blowing.
Yeah.
Oh man, this was a lot of one. It's all like a bunch of questions asking the same thing.
Dude, it's all 32-bit stuff. Like everyone is just insane. Like
Let's
it's
get
only
through a few
been
of
what,
these.
like 90, 89. Well, it's okay. I guess we're in a second and a half year of the 16-bit systems. And the Super Nintendo hasn't even come out yet.
I'm gonna go with this one. There's 3 of them here that are all the same, but I'm gonna go with this one.
Sure.
Turbo rules. Nice turbo coverage, dudes. The info on the CD-ROM blew my mind. I immediately went out and purchased one. I also bought last alert. Sound spectacular. And with lots of new games coming out with CD, I wonder why anybody would buy a 32-bit system.
What idiots.
This one does just fine. But out of curiosity, what is NEC working on for the future?
Why would anybody want the future? But tell me about the future.
Rock on, dudes.
I understand, like, video game consoles are an investment. I totally understand that. But we've seen this more than a couple times now when people are so paranoid and they say to themselves out loud, oh, why would you even want this when we have this and it's better because of this? You don't even want the future.
Yeah.
We've seen that a million times.
It's
funny.
We could read the other ones, but I'm just going to read the reply. The Turbo Express came out around Thanksgiving in very limited quantities in only 3 areas: Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York. And as one would expect of any hot item, they sold out in a matter of days. NEC states that more will be coming to in January with a national distribution shortly thereafter. As to new products, NEC of Japan has been unusually quiet the last few months. One item of interest that has just come out is a new 3-button controller for the Japanese PC.
Engine.
Oh, yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
you got way more to read there, buddy.
Damn it! The Japanese PC Engine. New software is being developed to utilize the extra button, which will function in a similar manner as the C button for the Genesis control pad. Other than that, there aren't even any solid rumors of a 32-bit system to report on, at least for now. NEC does have the technology. They were heavily into computers, and it is easily within their capabilities to design a system around a 68,000 series or a, oh my God, 80,386 CPU.
Nerd.
What? The PC Engine is over 3 years old, and the super graphics isn't getting the software support to make it go so. Make it go so. Yeah, okay, I read that right. I wouldn't doubt if things would start to get moving in Japan later this summer.
Largo, good morning. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're having a good weekend. Cutthroat says NEC state they will come to local Toys R Us. I can't remember if TurboGrafx was available at Toys R Us. Anyone remember that? It was very limited to where you could get it, at least in Canada.
I never knew the thing existed until I went to a random kid's house at school, like in public school, and they had this, like the thing with the cards. I was like, that's so cool. And then I just never saw one ever until like later on in life.
Yeah. Matt says 386 CPUs were the top of the line around this time. Bless you, Ash. All the home computers had them until 486s, that is. Yeah. I remember my buddy had a 486 and he was like the best. All this talk about 32, it'll never happen. Mark my words, it'll never happen.
Yeah. What madmen are making 32-bit systems?
The hottest ticket in town, SNK. Oh, look at that. This is a pretty brutal ad.
This makes me think of those Where's Waldo caricatures.
It looks like a GamePro, like GamePro artistry. No offense.
Oh, kind of, yeah.
The hottest ticket in town, SNK.
You see those Rocky Balboa there? Yeah, SNK.
It's like, yeah, what? And then there's like a creeper peep.
Yeah.
Look at the creeper peeps on the right.
Yeah.
What's he doing?
Why is his hand so low in his pocket?
Oh my God. Stormlord. Yeah, this game looked fantastic, but it played like absolute garbage. I remember seeing this very ad and wanting it, renting it, then not wanting it. Razor Soft. Oh my God. Remember Razor Soft? Brutal.
Run like H from.
Where is Famitsu? Who cares? Let's go to more 8 meg games. I feel like this was a theme last issue, wasn't it? Oh my God. It was. So I'm reading the more 8 meg games in the middle. I just got the Japanese Strider, and it was the most awesome game I've ever played. I have all the Genesis games ever made, and nothing could even come close to the spectacular graphics and intense gameplay. When you rated it Game of the Year, you were right on the mark. What I'm wondering about this game, what I'm wondering about is this game so good because it is 8 meg?
What?
Read it. That's not me. If so, I would gladly pay another $15 for more of this type. Will we see more 8 megabyte games, or is it just the exception? Steve Brackerton from Redmond, Washington. Razorsoft makes Technocop. Ah, that's where I remember the name. Thank you, JT. Yes. Oh, we got a North Bay, Ontario. James Taylor. That's my brother. I'm going to go for this whole one here because there's only two.
Old Jimmy James.
I must compliment you on your great coverage of Strider, eh? I just got my mail order copy, eh? And it was unbelievable. If this is what we can expect from an 8 meg game, then bring them on. Is the Mega Drive Darius 2 going to be 8 meg also from James Taylor, North Bay, Ontario? We couldn't agree more about Strider, but it didn't get that good just because it's 8 meg. Memory does play a very important part in how the memory is used and how the game plays are more important. Dude, did you read that too? Like, this is not me.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
One should not base their opinion of games based on memory alone. We will be seeing a lot more 8 meg games, though, included in a high memory category included in the high memory category are Gary's Darius 2, Shining Darkness. What is Ambition? Oh, Ambition of Caesar. I've never heard of that. Valus 3, Midnight Resistance, which is a great arcade game, and Advanced Invasion.
I
So
wonder if it's
doesn't
like maybe they change the name on that one later on, because they do have like working titles, and then when they do release, they come out with like
sure. So what they're talking about here is that like the megabytes alone don't make the game great, but I think this guy's talking about maybe graphics too, in which case it does make it better because the more megs you have, the more powerful you can pump up the graphics. You can make it look like the arcade. So just saying. Yeah, 8 meg games when you can have 32-bit games of the future. Dude, we're on the cusp of the future. We haven't even started this generation yet. All right, you're up. Do you want to skip this page or what's FX too good for TV? Oh my god.
Yeah, let's see what this talks about. Congratulations for your coverage on the Super Famicom. I enjoyed it tremendously. I only hope you won't stop talking about it after your 3-part series is over. Well, it's coming out, so why would they stop talking about it? No other mag seems to care about this great new system as they are ignoring it. I have a question about the specs of the system. My computer teacher told me that a TV screen was not able to handle a 512 by 448 resolution or 256 colors at the same
Whoa.
time. He also told me that the TV screen was one of the worst screens you can have. Will we be forced to buy an expensive monitor to really enjoy the graphic capability of the Super Famicom?
Yes.
Phil Kennington, I want you to write in to us and tell us how you feel today about this letter.
Phil, if you're there,
Yeah,
I know
Phil.
he's the CEO of some big corporation. Maybe he started Epic Games. Who knows?
No, Phil Kennington is part of Pennington's.
Gotcha.
It only makes sense. You get jobs that rhyme with your name.
Sure.
Yeah. Bartlett at a market for toys.
Your teacher is correct. The TV is not the best way you play games. I'm taking over. There are actually 4 different types of monitors that can be used. The first and the most common is the ordinary TV. It's good, but it's far from the best. What makes it only average is the tuner. Consider the tuner to be like a narrow part of the funnel. You can only be a certain width because it can't allow the TV channel to overlap with the next one. Oh my God.
Sucker.
That was yours too.
Why are these all so long? Oh my god, look at all these. There's one over here on the right side for no more game rentals, and it's like the whole page.
Oh, well, we got to read that one because that one sounds interesting. You know what? I'm going to veto this one.
Yeah, this just sounds boring.
This is all a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah, I'll catch up. New Kids on NES? Yeah, New Kids on the Block. Anybody remember that? I can't think of a New Kids on the Block song, but yeah, you know.
Hanging tough. We got the right stuff.
Oh, right. The right stuff.
Right stuff's great.
I forgot about that. Anyways, in one of your past issues, you mentioned that my favorite music group, the New Kids on the Block, might be coming to the Nintendo. Have you gotten any new information on this game? Parker Brothers was working on a game featuring the New Kids, but a spokesperson has notified us that they have had second thoughts on such a game, and it is highly unlikely that will ever come out. In its place, Parker Brothers will bring out an NES version of their popular board game, Monopoly.
We got
New Kids on the Block. You're walking around the block. Monopoly. It all comes together.
I get it. We didn't get New Kids, but on Sega CD we got Crisscross Make Your Video, we got CNC Music Factory, and we got Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. So what's the point? I don't know. Chad with the $5. Dude, thank you so much. Chad
Come on,
says,
Chaz.
yay, reading is fun. Look at these
Uh,
two awesome guys. Good morning, everyone. Thank
I
you for
like
that.
reading.
Thank you for the super chat, brother. Hope you're doing well. You're going to get a link one of these days, and you're going to have to read with us. Those are the rules, Chad. Since you're making a game video, you're the big, you hate toys now. It's all about games.
Big gamer Chad.
Okay. No more game rentals. I recently uncovered a news bit that started to worry me. Is it my understanding that Nintendo's efforts to ban Blockbuster Video from photocopying the NES instruction books has really been successful, thus eliminating the ability to rent NES cards? Now, why would that stop you from renting the game? I mean, let's just look at this, okay? If Nintendo said you're not allowed to photocopy the NES manual, then just rent it out without the NES manual.
Yeah. And like for certain games like Star Tropics that needed like, the manual for it, I'm sure you could just do like a little type up or something.
Yeah. Jeez.
Like, here, dummy, this is what you need for this next part.
I was wondering if this also applies to the Nintendo carts, not third-party games. Also, will this apply to the Genesis or Dread I say? Dare I say? The Neo Geo. I beg all of you reading this to write to the proper reps in the government to stop such nonsense in the future. No,
Yeah.
this issue's off the rails, man.
There's a lot of special people out there.
I beg all of you reading this to write to the proper representatives in the government to stop such nonsense in the future, says Adam Query of somewhere, sometime.
Mount Airy Head.
What's NC, North Carolina?
Not connected.
You are right, Adam. Nintendo did win the court case with Blockbuster. Wow. That's news to me. I think that's pretty interesting. I never even knew that that was an issue. But there you go. It is technically illegal to photocopy any copyrighted material. But if you go into Blockbuster now, you will see that you can still rent games. Why? Because only photocopying is illegal. All video rental stores have to do is print up their own instructions or include the original book with the game, or don't include the instructions at all. The Big N is trying to prevent game rentals, but fortunately, they have lost on every attempt so far. They claim that rentals are cutting into their sales, and that's probably true. But on the other hand, the great Nintendo seal of approval doesn't mean too much anymore. Oh my God. How much salt is in this magazine?
Everybody seems very like upset and aggressive. I kind of love it.
It doesn't mean too much. The big Nintendo seal of approval doesn't mean too much anymore. Okay. There
You're not
are a
wrong.
lot of marginal games in the stores, and with prices approaching $50 in stores starting to no return policy, players are forced to rent a game to see if it's worth buying. Amen. Amen. These companies who make quality games won't suffer, as the rental will only lead to a sale, but those who produce less than satisfactory games will lose the sales. On the side of the software companies, there still is a loss. Like in the videotape rental business, the manufacturer only gets a one time sale to the rental establishment and doesn't benefit from the hundreds of rentals that the game will bring in. It's a two-edged sword, and there isn't any easy solution. As to the other game system companies, they aren't as vocal as Nintendo. They don't go out and sue everybody. Both Sega and NEC are evaluating the issue, and SNK Home Entertainment wants rentals, as does Tenjin. What do you think? What do you think the game rentals fair? Sorry. What do you think are game rentals fair to both companies and to the players? Send us your opinions. Oh my god.
That has always been like a interesting topic, right? Like renting games. I guess like renting movies, but
Yeah, but look, it goes back to what we've been talking about for years on on your Twitch streams, on my YouTube streams, where we want physical media because when we buy it, we own it and we can do what we want with it, aside from making illegal copies.
yeah.
But if it was 1991 and I bought a bunch of NES games and I wanted to rent them out, I could rent them out.
Mm.
So, I mean, Blockbuster has every right to do that. As far as I know, I don't think there's a law against that. Clearly, there isn't.
Yeah, there definitely wasn't.
Photocopying the manuals, sure, I guess I can see that. But yeah, just put the manual in with the game until it inevitably gets totally destroyed. And then that game just doesn't have a manual. Then you put on the box, no manual. Right?
Yeah. The photocopying of the strategy guide seems like the instruction manuals is weird. That's like a weird power play by Nintendo.
See, I think it would be weirder. I agree with you. I think it would be weirder for them being Blockbuster, to have a new game come in and someone have to sit in the back room and type out an instruction book. You
Yeah.
think Nintendo would be no, 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 because what could get misconstrued, right? Like, what if
Mhm.
they screwed up the control scheme or something?
Yeah. Just leads to more error, like chance of error. Yeah, that's a whole weird thing.
It is a whole weird thing, isn't it? We are at the reviews, the greatest section in the magazine. This month we are graced with many, including looks like Arch Rivals on NES and the first GI Joe game. Mutron, good to see you, dude. How are you?
Morning,
Bartlett
Neutron.
Piers. I like it. I like it. So let's see what our favorite editors. I read Steve, and Will the Hater reads Ed the Hater, because not many people know this, but they're brothers. I just gave away your secret. I'm sorry.
I feel like everyone's a hater in this magazine, though.
Steve, the chief has set his Super Famicom aside and spent a lot of time with all the new software from the Winter Consumer Electronics Show. It was a good show, as the games just keep getting better. That's what Steve's been up to. What about Eddie?
Ed's caught the portable fever. He's quite happy with G-Lock and Golf for the Game Gear. When he's not working on EGM, we see him with Bonk 2 on the PC Engine GT. Bow, bow, bow.
What's the PC Engine GT? GT.
It's the Gran Turismo version. It's the driving version. You get to drive around in it.
Arch Rivals by Acclaim. Never was an Arch Rivals guy, especially once NBA Jam came out. It kind of destroyed Arch Rivals. But we see, wasn't one of these guys in the that cartoon we watched for Video Power? I think there's one Arch Rivals basketball
Yeah,
player.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I try
This
to
is,
block that whole cartoon out of my mind, but
I was toying with it. If I'm assuming you're streaming it too, or you're streaming after this today.
yes.
Okay. So if you weren't, I was toying with the idea of opening up with a Video Power episode, but
Uh,
I'll give you a fair warning next time. So Steve gives it a 6 out of 10. I was hoping that Arch Rivals for the NES would be more like the well-playing coin-op original. The movement is not very smooth and the control is less than perfect. Also, the computer is very easy to beat. The two-player option makes up for this, and this is where the game gets fun. 6 out of 10.
Basketball. There are a lot of good basketball simulations in the stores.
Is that what Ed sounds like now?
Yeah, he's very like solemn and stuff. He's like, video games.
I gotta
Why
play
am I
video
still
games for a
here?
living.
Another one would be a waste. Unfortunately, Arch Rivals doesn't try to be real. It is just good and rough buckets like you play out on the playground.
What does that mean? This
Control
wordage.
could be better, but it still is good enough to get by. 6.
Dale says, did they come out with the Turbo Mini for nowadays? You can play some of the classic games. I do. I have it actually. It was released, unfortunately, Dale, in 2020. The TurboGrafx seems to be doomed to get no distribution, unfortunately. So 2020 obviously was the pandemic, the beginning of the pandemic. So it did come out. It's got a lot of great games on it. We got a super chat from JT. Thank you for the $10, my friend. Setting out good vibes for a Bishu return ad. Well, no spoiling. Those of you guys who are reading along with us, you can go to retromags.com. That's where we're reading this PDF now. Best day of the week. The show comes out right here. Thanks so much, dude.
Man, there'd be a Bishu ad.
I love it too, man. This is one of my favorite. I've said this a lot of times. I love the Sunday morning chill. It's just fun. It's fun. G.I. Joe from Taxon. That's pretty good scores. 7 from Steve. G.I. Joe to the rescue. This long-awaited game combines good gameplay and colorful graphics into a fun, exciting action/adventure cart. The ability to switch between different heroes from the cartoon show adds a new depth to an otherwise familiar storyline. Well, I hate to tell you, actually, but none of these characters were in the cartoon. Sorry.
You okay?
I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
I'm good. 7. That's pretty reasonable. That's way above average. I'll take it.
Taxon is on the right track with this game. It has the right play mechanics and a difficulty curve set so you don't blow through the game right away. A good variety of adventure scenarios, just difficult enough where choosing the right team makes the difference between success and failure. I feel like that was a whole lot of nothing said there, Ed.
Yeah. Pinball by Hal America. Rad. What the hell is Rad Gravity? How come I don't remember that? Ooh, nobody else seems to like it either. Ooh, 3. 4. So Steve gives it a 4. Well, Rad Gravity is definitely not what I would call rad. The animation graphics and the blocky backgrounds. See? I want everyone to read this, okay? Well, you call me sloppy. This is not sloppy. Look, read it. Well, Rad Gravity is definitely not what I would call rad. The animation graphics and a blocky backgrounds are far from average. That's not me, man. Okay? And are far from average, and combined, they all contribute to the cart's demise. The music is interesting, but isn't enough to save Rad from falling to the wayside.
Yeah.
Price is right. I got that. Oh, I got that, baby. Hang on. I got that. We should kick that when something gets like below average, right? We should do. Rad Gravity. Oh.
What do we do if it's like 9 or above?
Oh, I don't know. What do I got? I got I got this I got the Star Wars noises from our script read. I have Strike from Family Feud. That's a good one. Got that. Oh, I gotta take the loop off. What do I have for a good thing? I don't really have anything that's good. Everything is like
Jay's
failed noise.
all down and depressed too, like all these editors. Jeez.
All I got is fail noises. All right, you're up for Rad Gravity.
Average games just don't cut it in an already overcrowded NES cart market anymore. Unfortunately, Rad falls in this category with features that are intended to be unique, but just don't come off the way they should. Best market for Rad is the very young. They'll play anything. The dumb
Oh
kids,
my
they'll play
god.
anything. But for them dumb kids, they play anything. God.
That's
Why is
so.
everybody so bitter in this one?
Oh, dude, it's good. Christoph, is that a toilet? No, dude, that's from the game show Price is Right. It's when somebody like loses the game or whatever. He kicks off. Ninja Crusaders by American Sammy. 6. Even though the graphics and animation are less than perfect, the weapons, power-ups, and level bosses are excellent. This game does a decent job of holding its own. Changing into various animals adds a new twist to the Ninja Gaiden wannabe.
Wow.
It sounds like the way Steve words it there, it sounds really great, and then it just gets like a 6.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, you use the word excellent, but then you only give it a 6. 6 doesn't represent excellent. We've seen this happen before, though. I
Yeah.
don't know. Any ninja game automatically gets compared to Gaiden, and in this case, NC comes off better than many. While it doesn't have the mystique and excitement that Gaiden has, the gameplay is decent and the animal conversion is a good option. Wow. You see how he spread out those words? He's just trying to fill that box.
Yep.
And helps the game along. 6. Ugh.
Ninja Crusader. What happens when you order Ninja Gaiden off? Quantum Fighter by Hal America. Oh my god. 9.
Where's the victory
Quantum
sounds? Come on.
Fighter is incredible. Yeah, okay, hang on. I gotta have something. I'll look while you're doing yours here. Quantum Fighter is incredible. The graphics and music are cool, as well as sporting an awesome variety of weapons and attacks. Also, the acrobatic flips and techniques are mind-boggling. Add cinematic displays with amazing control, and you've got a Gaiden fan's dream.
Dun dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Mo, good morning.
Morning, Mo.
Skyfall, good to see you. Bonk, good grief. You don't like Bonk? Come on, man. Skyfall. Calling the cops.
I won't stay long. Have a good one, folks. Oh,
You too, brother. Happy Memorial Day. Cheers to you.
Is that today or tomorrow? What day is today? Is today Sunday?
Well, it's Memorial Day weekend. It's tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Now, this is a game. No, this is how a game should be made. How they pull off these types of graphics on the NES is amazing, as is the way it plays. New moves, not just the ordinary. Okay. Along with an unusual assortment of weapons, bring this game right to the top of the NES crowd. Huh. I don't think I've ever heard of this.
Quantum Fighter. Huh. Yeah, so out of these 3 on the page right now, yeah, they're like Ninja Crusaders. I don't remember at all. I remember the other 2, but I don't think I've ever played them.
That sounds neat. Let me want to have to look for it.
Okay. Last alert for the TurboGrafx CD, actually. Thank you very much. 6.
But what about the power of the CD-ROM?
The CD-ROM's gonna save us. Oh my god!
Oh, the great CD wars.
Poor voice synchronization and a lazy English soundtrack take away from some of the excitement of this overhead view combat adventure. Otherwise, Last Alert is a very good CD game with cool animation. Also, the movements and power-ups are interesting, but need some work. I find because there's only so much space for each of these reviews, like every single sentence can be like open for interpretation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean by like the power ups are interesting but need some work? What do you
Yeah. We aren't the big reviewers. We can't get into their minds, understand the complexity of playing video games.
Well, dude, they're way more advanced to us for us on a Sunday, sleepy Sunday, tired Sunday. What? Go!
I just like my Viking games.
I can see that for 80 hours. You need some help.
80 hours. I think I'm close to like 1100. Anyways,
What?
yeah.
I'm calling the cops.
The potential for CD technology scores another one with this good shooter. The cinemas are long and feature real voices. All NEC has to do is get actors with enthusiasm. The gameplay is decent, and with 15 levels, there is more than enough length to the game. See, we could be voice actors. And come on, gaming companies, come out to us. We'll voice act your
For
game for you.
sure. Yeah.
Uh,
Matt says, why is it Turbo Graphics for Last Alert, but the Turbo Graphics for TV Sports Football? Because they're lazy. That should be Turbo Graphics CD for Last Alert. Football is
yeah,
just on a cart or a card. Sorry. Yeah. TV Sports Football by NEC. Oh, Last Alert was by NEC as well. Oh, four. Ooh, boy. Oops. This football game doesn't have the depth of play as others do. It lacks control, graphics, and numerous play selections found in Madden football. The game moves too slow to be exciting, and it doesn't have a gridiron feel. More could have been built into it to make it interesting. Four.
that was a little harsh. That really adds to the effect. I feel really bad now.
I love that noise. I love it. Sorry. You're up.
TV Sports Footballs has been built around a unique turbo feature, 5 players simultaneous actions. As such, it's a lot of fun with everybody getting into the action. It falls short if you're alone, though. Yeah, playing with 5 people better than playing by yourself. But think of it as a party football game, and it deserves consideration. I guess you could get the controller adapter, and then you play with more people, right?
Nobody has 5 friends.
But like
Come
5
on.
is such an odd number.
Yeah.
Like 4, right? Because like the controller adapter only has 2 ports for extra slots, right? So
The
you'd have
turbo
to have
has
2 of
the
those.
turbo has 1, so the turbo tap goes into that. I don't have the turbo tap, so I don't know.
I have one.
I guess it has 5 then. Well, where's yours?
I don't know, it's in a box somewhere.
Let me guess. It's in a bin buried somewhere.
That's what I just said. It's in a box somewhere.
Uh
I should put some of those systems on in the display case.
yeah, you should. Damn degenerate.
All
Arrow
right, I'm out. I'm
Flash.
gonna go do that now.
Reno by renovation 6. Not bad.
Hey yo, not
Arrow
bad.
Flash isn't as intense as Thunder Force 3, but the graphics and music are really good. The main problem with this game is that it's too easy. Enemies do not fire enough, and the end bosses don't last very long. That's what she said. Fortunately, the game does pick up a little in the later rounds.
Okay.
Who gives a lips? Arrow Flash.
What kind of? You know what I think of the Arrow Flash? I think of like Green Arrow and the Flash.
Yeah, it's like their tag team or whatever.
Yeah,
Arrow
that's
Flash.
what
Yeah.
I'm thinking. Yeah. Not a bad shooter, but not a spectacular one either. AF. Yeah. Comes out a bit better than average with the minuses for power ups. Not enough. But big pluses. Big what? Excuse me? We talking about big pluses? For backgrounds. Oh, wow. It's that kind of flash.
Have you read
Uh
this yet, or are you still going?
the Jupiter effect on one level is good, and the wave level is
Oh my
hypnotizing.
god, buddy.
It should have made a better. It should have been made harder.
That's what she said.
I didn't want to say it out loud.
Uh, I don't know. I
That's
think we might have to go into no, I'm good. I'm good. We're good. We're good. I'm just gonna leave that alone. Uh Jackie Chan's action kung fu. All right. We're really rocking now. With the character that looks nothing like Jackie Chan, but that's okay. Here, this guy. Bimini Run by New Vision for the Genesis. 7777. Okay. I love this game. Bimini Run is a fresh new addition to the typical action shooter genre. The realistic 3D effects and sounds are cool. Even crashing is fun. The game is a little easier on lower settings, but even the best game players will have a difficult time on the hard setting. I
I
like
feel
that's like just basic logic.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
It feels like a game you would make. There's like if we were to make a game together and we like what we're gonna name it, we're gonna call it the Bimini Run. Hey, Bimini Run,
You can't even
Bimini,
say it.
Bimini,
Bimini. Bimini.
Bimini, Bimini.
No, not Bimini. Oh, it is
But it's
Bimini.
mini.
Bimini. Oh,
I can't read.
by Mini.
It's like Bimini or by mini. It's mini.
By Mini. Bimini.
Yeah,
Me.
this is
Me.
the third unknown brother of the
Double Dragon.
Bimmy, Jimmy, and Bimini.
Bimini. Did it typo bikini? Bikini run? Maybe.
Wait, is it? Is that a typo?
Do a Google. Google it. Bimini run by New Vision.
Oh, this is gonna pull out something dirty, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure that's right.
No, it is right. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yep. Title's right. Can confirm.
All right, Cutthroat. This one's for you. Lakers versus Celtics by Electronic Arts. Ooh, 5. Give me a break. That game was great. 5.
Apparently not. Apparently not. Nobody liked it except for is that Sushi X at the bottom still?
Ugh. After Madden football, I expected more from EA than this. At first, Lakers and Celtics looks impressive, but it plays horribly. The animation leaves a little bit to be desired, but it's okay. The team stats are awesome, but the lack of control destroys an otherwise cool game. 5.
What got? Saying that's what it says right there. I'm just reading what the text says. What got? The Genesis needs is a good Genesis basketball game. It still needs one. While Lakers is better than the other game, it isn't as smooth as it could be. I like the specialty shots and the music is entertaining, but I need precise ball control and it isn't there.
I gotta read this for myself. I gotta read this one for myself. Okay. Well, God, the Genesis needs a good Genesis basketball game. It still needs one. Ed was like drunk for the first half of this review, and then he sobered up and woke up, and then he wrote the second half. He's like, the first half's good enough. Just keep it in there. Oh, dude.
What got?
What got? Mondu's Fight Palace is awful. I know this from experience. Unfortunately, I rented this steaming pile of garbage from Activision back in the day. Activision, shame on you. 4, says Steve. Out of all the fighting games I've seen, Mondu left me breathless. So you think that's a good thing, right?
You think so?
I felt like turning the game off after one match. The player control is virtually non existent and the music is boring. The graphics are good, but watching the land shark gobbling my character was a welcome sight indeed.
Uh-huh.
4. I want to get to Matt's comment. Oh man, should we start taking bets if we make it to the end or not? We're definitely jumping off the rails now, like light speed jumping. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good.
It's not our fault. Like who writes Wagat? And like somebody proofread that and was like, "Oh yeah, that's cool. Put it out there, man. Wagat. Wagat the
Uh,
Genesis."
I
Yeah.
know we're not supposed to talk about or mention the sitcom dad that starts with an H from the 80s. We're not supposed to mention him anymore, but it sounds like a noise that he would have made back in the day. Genesis in the pudding. Oh,
Mondo seems to be lacking in variety. It's not wrestling, but it isn't kung fu either. The opponents look good, and the buy shop is a nice feature, but I just couldn't stay interested in Mondo for a long time. Needs more work on the controls.
oh God, that was hilarious. I'm sorry everybody. I lost it there. That was funny.
Wagat.
We would make a game called Bamini Bagat. What?
Bimini. I can't even say that. Bimini
Bikini
Wagat.
Bagat. Double Dribble 5-on-5 by Konami for the Game Boy. Somehow, this game doesn't work on the little black and white Game Boy screen. The computer quickly takes advantage of this and annihilates the novice player. The cinematics are good, but this game becomes frustrating very fast. 5-on-5 could use more control too. Just saying. 5.
This is one sport that doesn't work well on the tiny screen. It's hard to see what's going on, and it's pure luck if you make a basket. There should have been difficulty settings, as playing against the machine is too frustrating. Now, if I could dole an arch rivals move, what the hell's dole? If I could dole an arch rivals move and punch opponents, I don't know what's going on. Is this a joke? Did somebody alter this magazine for me? What the dole?
Oh, I'm sweating. I'm sweating. I'm sweating. Oh God, that's good. All right, moving on. Matt says it's gonna be the new inside joke. Yep. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Wagat.
the way, but it was the way Will said it. Okay. All right. Operation C by Ultra slash Konami. I was very surprised when I played this game. Operation C on the Game Boy? Impossible? Wrong. This version of the arcade smash is better than the NES counterpart. The music, new weapons, and intense graphics round out this excellent surefire hit. Outstanding.
Yay! The Ultimate Game Boy game, while similar to the NES version, it has new features that make it fresh. Everything is perfectly done: weapons, power ups, graphics, and sounds. Game Boy games just don't come any better. Nuff said. I don't think Jay's going to make it through this episode, guys. He's dying.
I think you said it like. Oh. Oh, Zarlor Mercy for the Atari Lynx. We got here.
We got.
Oh, oh, jeez. Okay. Five.
Oh god.
The intensity that we've come to expect in the Lynx games just doesn't happen in Zarlor. While the graphics are great, the options are interesting. The power-ups are well designed. The game moved too slow.
Are you gonna be okay?
When 4 players are connected, the game really gets fun. So.
Jay's lost his Zarbits. Just saying that because it says we earned Zarbits for shooting things.
Zarlor. Who's thinking of these names? Everyone's drinking like a pint of whiskey and they're like, okay, let's come up with a name for the game.
Yeah.
Zarlor.
What you got?
Oh, nose. Okay.
Where's the action? I prefer fast-moving games. That's why I have a Lynx. But this game just can't get out of first gear. Everything else is perfect, and the multiplayer option is cool. I just don't get many chances to get other players to join in, so this feature has limited value.
Yeah, from the screenshot there, like I can't even tell what we're looking at. I guess it's a top-down shooter.
I guess. I don't know.
Another one.
It's a really bad screenshot.
Yeah. Matt says we need a pinch hitter when something happens like this. Yeah.
Calling in Matt. Matt.
Okay. I think that should be
okay?
it for the reviews. I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
I'll do the Capcom one. There's a Star Wars one, Alien 3. Okay. I'll do the second paragraph. Speaking of fighting, part 3, Tenjin has a Genesis version of Pit Fighter ready to do battle directly with the Super Nintendo's Final Fight from Capcom. Watch out, Capcom. Watch out. Sorry, Capcom certainly can't miss lately. Next, Disney soft for the NES is Tailspin with the Game Boy, Mega Man, Dr. Wily's Revenge. Can't wait. Bonk 3 for the 16-bit NEC? Just kidding. What? American Technos will have a sequel to their most recent smash hit coin-op video, WWF Superstars, called WWF WrestleFest, and it features something called the Royal Rumble.
Wait, was the Royal Rumble never a thing until like? Yeah, I guess not.
I guess, yeah. Man, are we witnessing like the first
beginning?
appearance of the Royal Rumble? That's pretty sweet.
Huh. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I wonder. I never even thought of that because like I've always just known of the Royal Rumble. I didn't think of like, when did it actually come into existence?
Oh, Ghetto, thanks, brother. Oh man.
It's confirmed. Van Dam on Rick D's Nuts last night talk show. I don't even know what that is.
What'd you just say?
What? Stated his next movie
would
have
him. Did you mean to say that? Did you mean to say that?
We'll never know.
What the hell is happening?
As one twin, he must rescue his kidnapped girlfriend. And in the end, he must fight himself as the other twin.
Oh my
Sound
God.
familiar? A Double Dragon movie sure sounds like a big box office. A big box office? Are you going to add hit to that end? Sure sounds like a big box office hit to this movie Moogle. I hope that movie was not good. Also didn't have Van Damme in it. Speaking of fighting, looks like there's definitely going to be a 16-bit war in 1991. The Genesis having whet our appetites for true 16-bit. Yeah, whet. W-H-E-T. Whet.
What is happening, dudes? What is happening?
That's like wet for like a whetstone, but I don't know if that's the right. I'm not. I'm not like an English professor. I'm not sure if that's the right way to
Oh, it
go.
might be okay.
I'm not 100% sure. I feel like when you say whet our appetites, it's like, you wet up like WET so that you can
Yeah.
consume things better, but I'm not sure.
You know how like when Stewie says H's in his W's, right? Like wet.
Yeah. Wet.
Yeah. Wet is pronounced like wet. All Matt knows. Oh, we're in trouble.
Yeah, I
So
know
what?
yeah. But I should
I've
is that the
never
correct
seen
terminology?
WHET in my life. This is the first time I've ever seen it.
See,
Anyway,
Matt agrees with me. If you're gonna set the joke up that perfectly, gotta step through the door. That's right. I had to take it, and I was kept going. Jay couldn't keep a straight face. He
well, it
set
was
it up. Van
dude.
Damme on Rick D's nuts.
It was great. You had so many jokes. I can't get past the first one. It's too funny. Oh, I can't process the next.
With Genesis having whet our appetites for true 16-bit, Nintendo and Atari Corp looked primed to introduce their high-performance machines by mid-year. Will NEC also have one to show, considering Atari Corp's history of a lot of machines for the buck? The Panther is eagerly awaited here. How about a killer version of Rygar? You know what? I'm down for that. I freaking love Rygar.
Did they do a 3D version of Rygar? Does
Yes.
anybody know? Did we get like a
It's on the
PS2?
PlayStation 2, I'm pretty sure. You want me to look it up?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure there was one on the PS2.
they pretty much did everything, but you never know. Rygar for PS2,
Yeah.
nice.
Rygar, the legendary adventure.
All of your favorite Star Wars movies are now coming to the big N. Seems that Lucasfilm Games has designed a game that Beamwith develop,
Keep going.
and then JVC will distribute, and Taxon will handle sales. Woo! The new trio of Star Wars movies will debut summer of '97, followed by Episode 2 and 3 in '98, '99. I'm making the popcorn now. How the hell did he know this in 1991? Dude, that's spooky. I mean, he's a little off, but pretty close. That's crazy. Will Star Wars appear on the Super Nintendo? Oh, it will. It appears on the secret release page of an upcoming Super Famicom game from our spy in Japan, along with Capcom's Area 88 UN Squadron here and Dragon Quest V. Natsumi intends to have the Super Nintendo software release here when it arrives, but they're not waiting for that to happen before bringing out some hot NES games. Their second title is a 2-player game called Scat. And the third one is another hot sci-fi action game from the team which brought you Shadow of the Ninja.
That sounds interesting.
Wah! Yeah. Are we good? We're good. Or do you want to do it? You like aliens?
Yeah, I was thinking that one or the next. Well, I'm just reading ahead. These Quarterman things, I know you like them, but he's just so all over the place.
The last one looks just like a mess.
Yeah. What a fun mess.
Yeah.
Just like this whole stream today.
His mind poured out on paper, just like in 7.
Okay, we'll do the aliens. So, Alien 3, the next organic organism.
Easy.
Bug hunt movie in the series. Should begin production by the time you read this. I certainly hope they finally venture to the home of Alien this time. Oh, yeah, venture to the home of Alien. Okay, got it. Not back to LV-426. Is that what that planet was called?
I'm not an alien aficionado. I couldn't tell you.
Also known as Archon. Biotech, also known as the corporation, wants the new weapon system at all costs. Sounds like opening Pandora's box. Guess who's coming to dinner? A whole space load of obnoxious Marines. Bon appetit. HAL Labs in Japan recently released a new Famicom space shooter called SDF, which uses the new MMC5 chip. Cheese booga, chips. How to order a hamburger, cheeseburger, no cheese. What?
Dude, the proofreading. LV 426 is the planet from Aliens. Actually, thank you very much, Stanley. Actually, LV 426. Was that to you or Quarterman? Who screwed up?
I don't know. Did I screw up? I might have.
Oh
Dyslexia
no,
is
it's
real.
no, it's Quarterman because it's LV space 426.
Oh, but what's the
Oh,
cheeseburger thing?
this
Cheeseburger?
looks like a Bishu ad, but it's not. I thought
Oh, we got
Kix is great.
teased.
I love it. Oh my god. Genesis does. Joe Montana. What? Football. That was all Quarterman.
Joe Panania.
I'm like drained. Oh my god.
Okay.
Atari set to roar with the new Panther machine. We know that this becomes the Jaguar later on. But I think it's 2 years off. The Jag was what, 93, 94, I think it came out. Oh my god, yeah. I have like abs of steel from laughing. The Quick, Dead, and the Immortal. The Immortal. For Nintendo with the seal of quality. Look at Nintendo too, eh? It's like the license. This is licensed and seal of quality, making sure that it's a great game.
Was
Oh,
it though?
I don't remember.
Dee doo dee boopy dee.
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade by Taito. The third in the series of Indiana Jones movies isn't coming to the NES. Isd? Isd. Oh, it is.
Yeah, is. There's a
Sorry.
lot of typos in this
Sorry.
magazine today.
The third in the series of Indiana Jones movies is coming to the NES as Taito has created an adventure game featuring all the characters from the movie. And I feel like they have to say it because LJN will make a game based on a movie and have none of the characters in. So I feel like EGM has to say that. I guess you can spell out. What is it? What does he say?
What?
Remember the trials at the end of Last Crusade? He has to spell out. I can't remember the name.
I haven't watched. I think I've only watched that movie once. So you're asking the wrong guy in that one. I watched it with you once. I haven't watched it since.
Anybody know?
I still don't think it was
Anybody?
good.
Oh, look, there you go. Benimi Run.
Bimini run. Hey, Benini run. What got you got?
New generation games from New Vision Entertainment. Oh,
New
yeah.
Vision.
Jehovah.
Oh, right.
But
Yeah.
in the Latin alphabet, Jehovah starts with an I. That's right. Because he steps on J first and he falls through. That's right. Thanks, Matt. I couldn't remember the name. Okay. Oh, here's Will's game, Lolo 3.
Hey,
Little
Lolo, Lolo, Lolo.
little fancy boy game here, Lolo 3.
Lolo's great. You don't know what you're missing out on.
That now, I don't think they made any Lolos past NES.
No.
Did they make a Super Nintendo one? I don't know.
Lolo died.
It just kind of died. Yeah. Let's bring back Lolo. I'd play it.
Super Lolo? Wait, I think Super Lolo's a thing. Super Lolo. Okay, don't Google that. No, that came out with
Super Lolly. What? Don't Google Super Lolly. No Super Lolo? No?
No.
Zombie
Nothing came out.
Nation. Nobunga's Ambition 2. Oh, here's Star Wars. Lucasfilm JVC.
Frankenstein.
I mean, the NES one was all right. It's really took off when LucasArts did this Super Star Wars series, the trilogy on the Super Nintendo. Those were great. These are all right. I don't mind the NES ones, but I don't know. Never my favorite, despite it being Star Wars. Super Spy Hunter for TJ.
There
You're
you
in the
go.
chat still. Euphoria. I don't know what Euphoria is. Speaking moistly, good morning, my friend. We named a dog Indiana. I like Indiana. Oh my god. It's a weenus. If you're still playing Sega, NEC, or Nintendo, you're nothing but a sweetness. If you're playing the incredibly high powered Neo Geo system, you're a real hot hog.
I want a hot dog.
Notice how they don't show the price? They can show all the stats they want. And I'm not slamming the Neo Geo, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
you had to be rich, man. No kid had this thing.
You still have to be rich to buy the Neo Geo stuff.
Yeah. I feel like it was a break for us when the Neo Geo collection started coming out on PS2. I was like, oh, thank God. So there's that Stormlord game, which sucks. Are we going to see a Bishu? I don't know if we are.
At this point, I don't think we're going to see any Bishu.
Sonic Spider-Man Battle Tank Attack Sub. Oh, I guess they ran out of space, so they put 4 game one panel. Sonic gets like shafted here. Yeah, dude, absolutely. I got mine when I started working, and it was a used one from Jumbo Video. I just got it by luck, and I didn't have games for it for years. Powerball, Cyrate. I don't. Airbuster sucks. Just saying. Pac-Man's back, and Game Boy's got him. Okay, see ya. The Game Boy was really great at making translations from famous arcade games. Here we have R-Type, Mega Man for NES. The problem again with the Game Boy guys was the damn screen blurring.
Yeah, the screen blurring on the Game Boy is awful.
Especially for stuff like Mega Man. Like Pac-Man, if it fills up the screen, that's fine. But once you had any kind of moving, it just was no good. I couldn't imagine playing R-Type on the Game Boy.
I don't know if I ever played this one.
Oh,
I played a lot of Game Boy games, but
Hova is a foreign civilization impersonating Jesus. Oh, I did not know
history.
that. Pac-Man, okay. Powerball, Smash into the future. Matt, you're in the future, buddy. You're in the future pages. Oh, we have Dragon's Lair. Look at this terrible.
Is that what that is?
Yeah. Like, what a terrible ad. Look at this. Look how small it is.
Why wouldn't they just use the animation since it's all animated? That seems dumb.
I think that was a trend back then, right? Was bringing these characters to life, like with Iron Sword and stuff like that. But this does not look like Dirk at all. Like, it's not even close. He doesn't even have a helmet on. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Tricks of the trade. We kind of skip over this because, we got the goggle. You can goggle it.
Old goggle.
Crackdown, not the 360 game. Lakers versus Celtics. Here you go, Cutthroat. If you want to get to the championships with a 9-0 record, if you can't get there yourself, there you go. Tricky kick. Turbo Champ.
Ooh.
So we got a little insertion here. We got the Turbo Champ, which is a little mini free magazine they put inside EGM. This is TurboGrafx. Yeah. I forget. How do you say this again? I say wise.
I don't know. I said yees, but
I think you were right and I'm wrong, but I still say wise anyway.
Tell me wise.
Ease. Wise.
See, Matt agrees.
No, Gaiden. Gaiden, Wise, and Ryu. That's the way it is.
I like it.
Bonk's Adventure, Military Madness, Splatterhouse. Oh, yeah. Have we got to the review of Splatterhouse yet? I don't think we have. I can't remember.
Yes.
We did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel it was a few issues back. Yep. I remember them liking it.
All 4 of these games here are must-haves for the TurboGrafx.
I have
For
Bonks. I have
yeah,
Military
bonk.
Madness. I don't have Splatterhouse yet, nor Ninja Spirit.
You just
Splatterhouse costs a lot. It's expensive.
yeah. Well, and you sent me a couple pictures from what store was that, by the way? You were at a retro game store?
Yeah, I was walking down New York and there was just a retro games. There's like J&L Games or something like that. They had a lot of stuff in there. But yeah, they had some like in-box turbo stuff, and one of them it was like Alien something. I couldn't read out the name because it was like covered.
Oh, it's probably Alien Crush, the pinball game.
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
was like $349.99 US. I was like,
First sealed, yeah. I mean, I bought a Splatterhouse sealed, so I'm not one to talk. That was 2015, and that was 400, I think, US.
it's a lot.
Yeah, regrets. Bonk is back, so we got Bonk's Revenge, which I think was better. It took a lot of the mechanics that we know from Bonk and just made it better. And I think after Bonk's Revenge, I kind of lost it. Like there was Bonk 3 and then Super Bonk, and again Bonk on NES. But this one was really good. They got a lot more colorful. Just Bonk had a lot more moves. I thought he was going to be a real contender for years.
It's a great game. I just unfortunately it's just the issue with the turbo is like nobody played turbo.
Yeah, and even they could have still made this character like Bonk never made it to like the 3D realm. Like the
Yeah, I
the
don't.
the, the PlayStation era, we never got a 3D Bonk 64. We never got anything. It's too bad. Oh, everyone's still hung up on that. I don't blame you guys, man. I had a dream about it.
Super
Final
Bonk
Fantasy
on Super
7.
Nintendo. I didn't know
Final
that one.
Fantasy 7 was 52nd on that list. Absolute blasphemy. Shame on you, IGN.
Told you we should do our own list.
We should. Bonk's new secret weapons. You know what would be a fun one to do, dude, is like top 20 consoles. That would be fun.
That could be neat. Yeah.
Or you mean like we do if you wanted to do like top RPGs, like your list and then my list kind of thing? Like what are yours and then what are mine, or just what we think together?
Yeah, we could just do like a ranking list and we just like talk it out and rank them like S, A.
Oh, the tier list. Okay, yeah, we could do that. Yeah, that might actually be easier and more fun. Visually
That's what I
stimulating.
thought originally. I was like, just do that. Haha. Tier ranks.
Yeah, we could do the old tier list. We could do that.
Cool.
Camp California, Lord of the Rising Sun, Tailspin, Bomberman, Aero Blaster, Battle Royale. I've played Battle Royale. It was all right. I think that's it. Oh, maybe Tailspin. I remember Darkwing Duck on Turbo. It was terrible. Absolutely brutal. There's the spread. Dale says I do have Splatterhouse 2 and 3.
Ooh.
Nice. Yeah, those are great. That game got better. It got better and better. And I think every one of them is good. Even the 360 one was awesome.
Yeah, the 361 was fun.
A little raunchy, but that's fine.
That's also like Splatterhouse.
There you go. That's better. Oops. There's the layout. That's what the TurboGrafx CD-ROM looks like for those of you who've never seen it. So it just clips into the back and the bottom. Pretty cool, but we got some pretty cool games here. Last alert. The Sherlock Holmes games were a lot of fun.
Really?
It's like I mean, if you're into the full motion video stuff, which I am, I think it's fun. TurboGrafx multiplayer games. We got Tiger Road, which is originally by Capcom. Super Volleyball, TV Sports Football. Hey, JLS, good morning, buddy.
Morning.
How you doing? Third party games. They didn't have many. Clax is on everything. Sidearms, I think that was Capcom 2. No. Maybe? I don't remember. And Sinistron, I have no idea what that is. It kind of looks like a game called Psychosis that came out, but I don't know if it's the same. Oh, look at this thing. The Ultimate Super Stick. Ooh.
That looks like the Bishu stick. Is that close enough? Wait, can we zoom in on that? Does it say Bishu?
It does. I don't know if I can zoom
It does
in.
say Bishu.
Yeah, I can't.
We made it. There's Bishu in the magazine, guys. We did
There
it.
you go. The Ultimate Super Stick. So they were still making stuff. They just weren't as prominent. But this is featured in EGM still. So we got our first Bishu. This is great too. Stack rack. We can laugh at it now because it's just simply a DVD holder, but it was really, really cool. And I remember if you had one of these as a kid for like NES games or something, you felt like professional. At least I did a little bit. The
We did
stack
it,
rack.
JT. We held on faith because of you.
JT says, I never lost faith. Never. There it is. And that's a really nice looking turbo stick too. That's not like the NES Bishu, which was a little questionable looking. You know what I'm saying?
It looks the same.
This?
That ultimate stick? Yeah, it's the same stick as the other one that they had. It's
Oh,
just
it
in
is.
black. It's
You're
just
right.
they
It's
just
the
changed the
colors.
color. They fooled you.
They fooled me. See, the colors make it work, man. I'm telling you. We were talking about this on Friday about some of the 90s Joe stuff, how the neon colors sometimes just kill a great design. I would agree with that. Yeah, it looks good. And what's this other thing? Game card soft pack. What? Turbo Vision. So this is your tuner for your Turbo Express. Dude, like you could watch TV. You could walk around the neighborhood and watch TV, and then some punk named Tylor would punch you in the soul and take your friggin' turbo. Look, dude, look at all this stuff. What would you give for any of this? Oh my god.
I think it'd be cool.
Like the Bonk shirts, the Splatterhouse shirt. I mean, I know you can make them today, but just this, look at this turbo graphics workout bag.
I like the colors.
Mutron. Yeah, we played Mario Kart 8 on Switch. No worries, buddy. No worries. You guys know you got me 5 days a week here, so there's plenty more. I did not keep that one up on the channel if you're looking for it. I don't keep every live stream up, so that one's not up. It's easy to beat the competition when you've got them outnumbered. So they have 59 games. TurboGrafx system has more amazing 16-bit video games to choose from than anyone else. You can count on it. Well, why don't you read this ad? My throat's gone.
I thought you liked reading.
I keep just reading it all, man. I don't know. We got to come up with some kind of cue. You go now. There you go.
Bring Bonk home for free. The TurboGrafx video game system packs some of the most powerful gaming around. With 16-bit graphics, stereo sound, and gameplay good enough to be straight from the arcades. Now, for a limited time, when you buy a specially marked TurboGrafx 16 system, we'll give you the award-winning Bonk's Adventure absolutely free.
That's
Along
worth it,
with Keith
baby.
Courage in Alpha Zones. You've got all the firepower you need to start your turbo-filled adventures. Keith Courage is actually pretty fun, too.
It's good. Definitely a mashup of two different games, but that's okay. This I think is better than the Dragon Warrior Nintendo Power giveaway. I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with me, but so okay. Now, what do you think about this, Will? I personally think it's a little bit of a mistake to give away your mascot game with the system so early after it's been released. I don't know. I guess Bonk 2 is coming out, but still, I think you should make people have to buy that game.
Maybe. Like most people would buy a game because like they need one for the system. But
Right.
also like they did that later on with like Sonic and stuff, and like Super Mario World was paired
true.
in with the Super Nintendo, and it did really well.
Very true. Well, there goes my theory. Get it out of here.
Yeah. Well, think about one like Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. The original Xbox sold gangbusters because that was included in there.
Oh yeah, they did a Knights bundle. I forgot about that.
And that as soon as you included Knights of the Old Republic, it's not like their flagship game on the Xbox. Well, maybe it should have been. But anyways, like we worked in that day, and like we couldn't keep those systems in stock as soon as we had that bundle, and everybody wanted it with Knights of the Republic.
JLS, very, very knowledgeable. Keith Courage is adapted from Mashin Hero Wataru, I believe.
No.
I did not know that. So do you know how there's JLS, there's the two different parts in Keith Courage, right? There's like the cartoony part when you can go into the shops and stuff, and then you get into the mech.
Mm.
Those to me seem like two different games that they kind of glued together, which is fine. But is all of that game from the same? I'm assuming this is an anime. Yeah.
Yeah, that I don't know.
Speaking Moisty says, I'm surprised Bonk was not more popular. Will, why was Bonk not as popular as he should have been?
Well, fortunately, it was just released on the Turbo, and we know how Turbo went. Unfortunately, sales wise, there's no one had Turbo.
This is, I agree. I'll add to that by saying that they made a huge, huge mistake by putting Bonk on the NES. Even though it was later in the NES's life cycle, by putting the main mascot character on another system. I don't know, man. And not a lot of people talk about that. I think that's
You think
one
so?
reason. Oh yeah.
I
Oh yeah.
think maybe, but
Look,
like
look. If you,
nobody over here because of like the weird distribution that NEC had for it. Like nobody was buying turbos. So like
yeah, true,
what was
true.
their other option? Be like, oh, we're just gonna keep it here and let it die, or do we try to pull it out to another system that's more popular, and maybe at least hey, we get some sales off it that way, right?
I see that from a business standpoint. In this generation, and we've seen time and time again over these issues with the letters to the editor, loyalty is a huge thing because people invest a lot of money, especially back then, for these different systems. So when you buy a turbo, you're a loyal turbo, right? Most people didn't have more than one. So you got the turbo. So the last thing you want to see, make it simpler, right? Mario in your Nintendo. The last thing you want to see is Mario go on to something else, right? Then all of a sudden that system isn't special anymore. That's the way I would look at it.
Yeah, but I guess that's a unique scenario where you're coming from something that is nationally distributed and well distributed.
Mhm.
Like the whole caveat with the whole Turbo Graphics and like NEC with Bonk and stuff is just there's no units to move.
Yeah.
They didn't have units to put out there. So like even if you just kept it there, nobody was buying the system because A, like it was hard to find and they didn't have enough of them to go around.
Ghetto, which part did I say? You're sitting here in your room smiling right now. Dude, I love that picture you sent me. It's shaping up to be awesome. Ghetto just, well, I'm not going to talk about your personal life, but you just showed me a new room that you have in your house now, which looks awesome, dude. Lots of games, lots of shelfies, lots of games. Well, that's interesting. Two different, well, not different points of view, but I think two good reasons why Bonk didn't do that great. So hopefully, speaking moistly, I hope that kind of answers. That's just what we kind of think anyway. That being said, Bonk is one of the harder to get games on the NES because it came out so much later, and I don't think a lot of people cared.
Yeah, and at the end of the NES life cycle, when you're heading into the Super Nintendo, that was kind of a bad play on their part as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they should have ported a version to the Super Nintendo. If I guarantee if they made a version on the Super Nintendo, like after that, like I know there was a Super Nintendo Bonk game later on.
Super Bonk, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But like if they timed it around that like beginning release, I think it would work probably wouldn't have better. Somebody at work is
I mean, I think this style of the game was great.
Mhm.
The first one in particular didn't play that great. There's a lot of flaws in it. I still like it, but there was enough of a character there to have a story.
Yeah.
I mean, again, no offense to Sonic fans, but you guys know I'm not a fan of Sonic. If you could create a story and characters out of that world, I think Bonk had a richer world to pull out of, and it didn't succeed.
Bonk's to me, Bonk's cooler than Sonic. I'm saying it now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. Christoph says there's someone at work who looks like Willie.
Just don't look at the guy that looks like Willie. Christoph.
Is he a Viking? Is he a Viking like Willie? Anything's possible.
Maybe it's me.
Okay, so this is Mario is back. This is still on the Super Famicom. The Super Nintendo has not yet launched.
Imagine
Here
seeing
we
this
are.
for the first time.
The map, yeah.
Just everything here, like more new Super Mario game. Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, Mario 3 was crazy when they showed that. The way that was showed off was crazy, but this one took the map screens. The map screens of Mario 3 looked very, it almost looks like a roadmap. This looks more like
Yeah, like a world.
a world, a different part of the game. Yeah, there's multi tiers, multi ways to go to different areas. The I believe it was the red dot. Once you
Mhm,
fully completed a level, it was red. And if it was red and yellow flashing, that meant there was another way that still needed to be discovered.
mhm.
So good.
Yeah, there's like hidden paths. They're like if you break it down, like they are just like world maps, just very similar to Super Mario 3. But the way that they pathed it out and you went into like, tunnels and pipes and into like doorways, it felt more alive the way they handled it instead of
Yeah.
just moving from one like board to the next.
Yeah, and one of I think it's the first world 1-1 or 1-2. The first one you go from the map when you go to the right. I think the first enemy you encounter is the bullet bill that's giant.
Yep.
And I remember just seeing that and I was like, that was huge. That was miles above what Mario 3 had done. Even though Mario 3 had Giant World, which I think is level 4, but just seeing that bullet bill and how great he looked and how great the backgrounds and Mario looked in 16-bit glory, the way the cape power up worked. Oh, it was just so good.
Yeah. I know there's always that debate, whether like, Super Mario Bros. 3 or Super Mario was your favorite, but I still think Super Mario World is probably my favorite Super Mario. It's tough. Like it always comes
Yeah.
down. It always seems between 3 and Super Mario World, but I don't know. Maybe it's because of like when I grew up, but just Super Mario World just hits so right for me.
But you think about it, dude. Mario 3 came out in 1990.
Mhm.
Mario World came out in 1991.
Yeah,
So I mean, it
that's
wasn't
not that
like
far apart,
just like a year. Um,
but it
but
seemed like
yeah,
such a big step.
yeah. I remember seeing the graphics for Mario 3 for the first time, being blown away. And then you see the graphics for this and you're blown away further. And then you see the graphics in Mario 64 and it's just like, oh my God. And Mario has always done that. Even when you saw Sunshine on GameCube, you're like, oh my God, it's like a living cartoon.
Sunshine sucks, but still,
What's Sunshine?
Sunshine sucks.
Sunshine does not suck. Speaking Moist, he says, growing up was great. I had an NES and a Super NES. Neighbor had the Sega Genesis, but nobody had Neo Geo, even though my one neighbor was rich. You could only get it in specialty import stores, to my knowledge. And Jumbo Video at the time imported Japanese um, consoles because we rented, my buddy Skylar and I rented the Super Famicom with this, Pilot Wings, and Final Fight. So Jumbo was really great with that. And the Neo Geo I got from them was North American, but they always got all that weird stuff.
Mm.
And they kind of just went away. I mean, so did all those stores, right? Blockbuster and all that. JLS says I have great memories of being at my neighbor's house and playing Super Mario World or Star Fox for hours and
Star
hours.
Fox.
Star Fox
Star
was so great.
Fox. So good.
I'm gonna put a poll up. Okay, we did this not too long ago. I think we did it actually probably only about a month ago. But I want to know. There's only 2 games usually that come up. Oop, that's a Q&A. We don't want to do that. Just gonna put choose. See if this has changed. There you go. This is just the side-scrolling Marios. These two are the 2 ones that are always going against each other. So this is we're not including Mario 64 or Sunshine or any of that stuff. Just the 2 side-scrolling ones. We'll see which one which one wins. Oh yeah, look at this, dude.
I
So good.
was looking at the poll.
So I will say I think that the power-ups in 3 are better.
I think so.
I think the power-ups in 3 are better. That raccoon suit,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, the frog
the
suit, the
Tanuki
raccoon
suit, the
suit,
frog suit, the Hammer Brothers
frog
suit
suit. Yeah.
that nobody ever talks about.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I would agree there.
but this one we got the fireball and we also got the cape. The cape is god tier.
Yeah, the
Gives you
cape's amazing, right? Like you can go
yeah.
through, and then you add in like Yoshi and all the abilities with Yoshi, which is not like a suit, but it's still like a it's still an add-on and like something you can use. The Yoshis were the big thing, of course, right? And Yoshi's
Yoshis
become
are
such a
great, yeah.
staple in the Mario franchise now.
This, I mean, if you really knew this game, you could make Mario fly. And remember, there's so many levels you can just keep pulling back on the cape and you glide all the way to the end of the level. You could bypass the entire level. Yeah, and to do that in Mario 3, you had to get the P Wing from Princess Peach, which you only got it a few times, I think in chests, and I think you might have got it for beating some of the castles, but
Yeah.
Mario World, you could do it anytime as long as there was enough space to run, right? Ghetto says this Mario was a game changer. Matt Rubin, I still think I made the wrong decision as a kid getting the Genesis instead of the Super. I can't. I don't
I
know.
think looking back on it now, like it's a tough choice back in the day, but I definitely think the library on the Super Nintendo was tremendously better. And for Matt, like being a big JRPG buff as he is, like Super Nintendo had all the big JRPGs, right?
Well, that's where you get into like Final Fantasy versus Fantasy Star, right? And there was a time when those two could go toe to toe with each other.
Yeah, but there's also like Secret of Mana on there, Secret of Evermore, there's Illusion of Gaia, there's Chrono Trigger, there's like
Yeah.
man, the Super Nintendo was bopping for JRPGs.
I would say almost the peak of JRPGs would be Super Nintendo. I mean, so many of the ones I know you said your favorite Final Fantasy is what, 2 or 3? Is 3?
2. US 2 for
Yeah,
Japan.
I do the US, sorry, 2. So the Kane one, right? Yeah, that
Yep.
one's crazy.
But if you want to peak JRPG 100% though, it's not like if you want to talk about peak JRPG time, that is the PS1.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8, what Legend of Dragoon.
Yeah. There's the
Yeah.
Lunar Silver Star story, there's Star Ocean, there's the Breath of Fire games, 3 no, yeah, 3 and 4. Anyways, and then Parasite Eve. There's like Square had their own like other off-brand stuff. There was Wild Arms, their Persona. There, the list can go on.
Sure. I think the reason I gravitate towards the 16-bit era more is because still to this day that early Polygon stuff is pretty rough.
And that's true. But there's still like all of those early Polygon games, like most of them turned out to be like iconic series and franchises that we still have today.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I'm not a graphic snob by any means, but the
Maybe you are.
poll so far 58% for Mario 3, 42% for Mario World with 12 votes. We'll keep that up.
That's pretty close.
JLS loves Sega. I did like Sonic. Sorry, Jay. Between that, Mortal Kombat, Echo the Dolphin, Road Rash, X-Men was great on Genesis, Jurassic Park, had tons of fun. Dude, you don't have to be sorry. You know that.
Oh,
Say
you like
whatever
what you
you want.
like.
Yeah, man. You know that. Just for me, I love Sonic 1. I do. I just, that series to me is just, I don't know. There's not much to it. That's just me. Look at all these new power ups. The egg, the 3-up. Remember this rare one? The
Mhm.
moon? Oh,
The
dude.
Dino Wings, you can fly like for a long time with Yoshi. The
Yep.
power balloon.
Chris, what's going on? Chrono Trigger. Yep, that's been a
Yeah,
big
Chrono Trigger.
topic on my channel over the last couple weeks. Absolutely.
Matt's playing it for the first time. I didn't know that. And I was like, yeah, wow. What an
I'm playing it for the
experience.
first time too.
Wait, I thought you played that a long time ago.
I played it like I rented it,
Um,
and it was in 1995 when that was released. So, what I'm thinking in my mind back then, we're in the middle of CD-ROM, like 3DO Jaguar 32X. So I think I just didn't care. I probably put it in, was like, okay, another Final Fantasy, and I pushed it aside. I know I did.
I'm just gonna put it up there since both you and Matt are now playing Chrono Trigger. Definitely like afterwards, get your copy of Sea of Stars. 'Cause if you are liking that, there's a lot of similarity between that and Chrono Trigger as well.
Yes, because the developer, right?
Mm.
That's his last game, is it not?
No, you're thinking of. I still have these up here because I didn't move them. You're thinking of Sandland.
Santa, that's right. That's right.
That
Okay.
was Akira Toriyama, who was the art design
Yes.
for
I'm
that.
going
And
to I think I'm gonna go through Chrono Cross after.
yeah, Chrono
Uh
Cross is actually
that's out.
Ashley one of Ashley's favorite games.
But we were that list. You were on that stream. We were doing IGN's 100 RPGs. There was so many I
Yeah,
wrote down, dude. So when we make our trip, when we go on our trip soon, man, I got some games to get. Like Illusions of Gaia. I forgot about that.
yep.
Secret of
You just got
Evermore.
yep. Secret of Evermore.
So much
You
good
got to get
stuff.
Xenogears.
Xenogears, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm surprised you didn't have a copy of Xenogears.
No, I have the whatever the Wii one was, Xenoblade Chronicles.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's all like kind of like a yeah, and then there's the Xenosaga stuff on PS2 as well. It's like a huge like Xeno series.
The Super Famicom times. The Super Nintendo is still not here, my friends. We're getting there. I don't know what month this issue is, but it should be pretty soon. But that's we're gonna get into some really great stuff in the next couple of issues because now we're gonna get into the console wars and just the great battles, and then you're gonna see the weird stuff come in. Oh, it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait.
UN Squadron. Oh, I freaking love that game.
Yeah.
UN Squadron is fantastic.
Capcom, baby. And Nintendo owes Capcom quite a bit. Like the launch of the Super Nintendo, we got Super Ghouls and Ghosts, we got UN Squadron, two huge games, and we got Final Fight, three
Mhm.
huge games.
And yeah, Super Street Fighter 2.
Street Fighter 2 came out. Yeah. Yeah.
Capcom,
Behind the
man. Capcom,
scenes.
fantastic.
Always have been, always will be. Oh, by the way, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm starting to practice Street Fighter 6. So I don't know if you're interested at all. Throwing it out there. Because
I
they
have to
just
buy it
released.
again.
Oh, okay. They just released Akuma this week.
Because like yeah, I had it for PlayStation, but then I canceled the PlayStation Plus, and I also canceled my Xbox Live because like it's too expensive, and I never play
Yeah.
any of those systems online, so I want to get it on Steam, so I don't have to
Oh,
pay for online.
you never bought the game. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I canceled all that stuff too. The only one I have is Nintendo, the Nintendo online service, because I play
yeah.
Majora's Mask,
Well, it's good for those like retro games. The
but
collection on
dude,
there.
they're so slow, man. They bring out like one game every couple
Yeah,
months.
but
Like
they've been doing that since like the Wii, and then when they started doing that stuff, right? Like they always just like slowly trickled out titles, and then eventually they stop, and they're like, eh.
the Wii had friggin' turbo stuff on it, man. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
that was great.
Oh, actually, Konami owns all that now. That's right. Konami owns all the turbo stuff. What is this? He was boring Brad until he plugged into Palamades. Oh, this is a game. I like boring Brad better. I think boring Brad's better than this guy. Wow, buddy, whoa, buddy. It looks like Bill
Did you
Paxton.
did you skip over the other one before that?
This?
Dragon 3.
What one?
Right there. Oh, back. Double Dragon 3.
Where?
One more.
Oh, yeah, I did. Oh, this is the arcade too. Yeah, I skipped Double Dragon 3 Arcade Alley by Sushi X. That's a hard read. That's some black text over some very
Yeah,
busy art.
I can see why you skipped it because it looks like it would just be an advertisement.
Yeah, yeah. Woo.
Yeah, I don't
Chris,
know if we want to try to read that or not. That hurts my eyes.
Chris says I had Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, and Game Gear. Whoa.
Nice.
It's pretty heavy, dude. Awesome. Streets of Rage 2 is good. Yes, I agree. Very good. I still got to play 4. I still got to play Streets of Rage 4. I got to get on that.
Oh, Dale, you still can't get the Fallout 4 mods working? That sucks. Stupid Bethesda updating that game.
Are you still doing 76?
I haven't in a bit. I do want to go back to it. It's just always more different games.
Yeah.
Ooh, Adventure Island 2.
There you go. Ouch. Look out. Hot. Words to live by. I love they just do stuff like this. I mean, I know it's just to fill up the page on the bottom here, but it just looks so cool, man. Like you don't need a map for this.
It was well done. Yeah.
But it looks great. I love the screen mapping. Yeah, this was one of your favorite games, right? The Adventure Islands.
I think they're great, and I'm saddened that like Adventure Island died on pretty much the Super Nintendo.
We got what was it? Monster Boy, Wonder
Wonder
Boy.
Boy,
No,
or you
Wonder
change.
Boy.
Wonder Boy is different though, because Wonder Boy is like you change into different creatures and stuff, right?
Yeah, but we got there was something we got on modern consoles. I remember like they remade Alex Kidd. That was the
Yeah.
last game I bought at GameStop. Was the Alex Kidd remake, but I think they did Wonder Boy and Monster World or something. They redid that too. I think. I agree, Matt. The page design's not the greatest. Cool, dude. Which one is this? The Simpsons. Is this Bart versus the Space Mutants? Oh, this is just tips and maps. See, I love this. Is the stuff I love.
Yeah, I like these pages. Yeah, when you get like the actual map layout and the screen swaps.
Yeah, you
Yeah, these
just
are great.
it shows you everything, all the little secrets, where to go. This was a pretty fun game too, man. Especially at the I don't want to say the height of Simpsons mania, but Simpsons was still brand new, and everyone had those white shirts with Bart that said, "I'm Bart Simpson. Who the hell are you?" Everyone had that shirt.
Oh yeah, The Simpsons was huge back in the day. This game though, this game was rough. I don't know what they were thinking with this. Like, you just make a side-scrolling like Mario-esque Simpsons game, not that you have to go around and spray paint colors and hide aliens.
Ambitious, yeah, but it didn't turn out that well. Super Gaming. Oh, there's Castle of Illusion. This is the Master System version. The Genesis one of this. This is the one we're talking about.
Yeah.
With the insane graphics.
Yeah. Oh, the Genesis one was so good.
Fatal Labyrinth. Oh, I remember my buddy had this one. We would always go to
That.
CompuCenter on payday. My buddy and I both worked at we were both dishwashers at Ruben and Wong's restaurant. And we would go to CompuCenter. We would buy a game every check, and that's it. We'd have like $10 left. Dude, that excitement is so great. Like, it's kind of sad. I think we're making like $4 an hour or whatever it was, something crazy like that. But we'd have just enough to buy one game. And I remember taking the bus all the way to Masonville, which back then we might as well have like gone across the country. That's how far it seemed. Going to Masonville and going to CompuCenter and being able to buy one game each. And just we would have our EGMs and our game pros and just like, okay, have you decided, man, which game are you getting? And so good. Simpler times.
Yeah. I miss those days sometimes. I
Jeff,
forgot about
what's up?
CompuCenter.
Lurking while mowing the lawn. All right, brother. Good to see you.
Don't watch and drive.
Yeah. Both hands on the wheel, 10 and 2. What is with this game today? Banini run.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
B
Mini run.
Mini.
Yeah, because buy mini, or you could say buy mini run.
B Mini.
B Mini run. Bimini. Bimini and Jiminy.
I can't say it. Allison is here. Good to see you. Greetings, children of the revolution. I dig it. JLS says, do you remember Dragon Crystal? What's that for, bro? Dragon Crystal.
Dragon Crystal. I don't even remember that.
No, I don't off the top of my head. Bimini Run. Oh, look at all the characters. Kenji, the Banshee, Luca, Kim, Marlena, and Dr. Orca.
I'd always play as Dr. Orca. This is it. Follow Dr. Orca to his secret island hideout and dodge the vicious enemies along the way. Destroy the BAM! Transmitter to rid the world of his threat. Is these just levels?
Yeah, these are. I assume these are the rival boaters.
Oh, so you don't get to
level
play
one.
as them.
No, level one's Kenji, then the Banshee and Luca. Yeah, I feel like should we put? I'm putting it on the list. Screw it. It can't be that expensive
What?
for when we go on our trip soon.
By mini run?
Yeah,
Why would you do that to yourself?
because we also have to put a Bishu. I got to get some kind of Bishu controller. I have to have it in the collection, man. I don't even care if it works. I just have to have one. Why?
I feel like 80% of them probably don't work.
Mutron says, but mini run again.
Yeah, good old but
Jimmy, Jimmy, Chad have bikini. I love you, buddy. If you like Fatal Labyrinth, you like Dragon Crystal. Okay, is it so? It's for Genesis. Yeah, I gotta look that up, dude. I'm not. Doesn't ring a bell. Gyres. Look at the Fantasy Star graphics. I love it. Oh my god, I love it. Very Robotech. Yeah, look at the detail on this one. Look at this. Oh, I want to play this. It looks like almost like a medieval shooter, like medieval with sci-fi. Swords and sorcery with lasers. I dig.
It looks very pretty.
It does look pretty.
How do you?
What? Go back?
No. I'm looking. I have my own copy of the magazine.
Man, you want a rough ride. Play friggin' Dragon's Lair on Game Boy. Okay.
Is this just like a port of the NES one that was like bad?
Well, yeah, it's impossible. And I get they're trying to make Dragon's Lair into its own thing. I get that. But how would you ever put Dragon's Lair onto the Game Boy?
Just like this.
Dragon Crystal on the Game Gear, the Sega Mark III, and the 3DS. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna look that up. This looks horrible.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine that being good.
I love Dragon's Lair, but not that at all. Choose from 7 different characters in Zorlar. Yeah, I like this. This is a lot of the games that got reviewed. You get just a better in-depth. See, this is what I think, right? I think the reviews should be this long. This should be
I would agree
review,
with that. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, not those little blurbs. Like this looks nice. This is like, hey, you can show off some of the stuff. Be like, hey, this is what we like. Showcase like an image that's related to it, and then be like, hey, score.
Yeah, like have all this as the review, and then have everyone's different opinions throughout. Just saying. There you go, Willie. You can take over here.
Hold on, let me catch up. There we go.
Cowabunga,
dude. Yeah, we got Turtles 2. Turtles 2 is fantastic. This is just the port from the arcade one, right? If I remember right?
Yeah, this is the NES one. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's still played so well. Like the sprites were great. You could get up to the 2 players. It was pretty much like a great port from the arcade.
Cutthroat, I love Space Ace. I actually have a cell from Space Ace.
Man, I played this so much.
This game is crazy. And this is, yeah, I mean, the fact that we were getting the arcade version, and I'm so glad that Konami left behind the original. I don't know if you like the original NES Turtles or not, Will, but I certainly do not. I've tried to like it.
I went back and tried to play that on the TMNT collection that came out a year ago.
Yeah.
And that game is rough.
It's
I played it for like maybe 15 minutes and I was like, I'm not doing this. And then I moved on to this and I played a shit ton of this.
It's not fun.
No.
It's hard as hell. It's like, unforgiving.
Yeah, it's hard, and it's not even like a good challenging hard. It's just a stupid hard. Like stupid things that you come across, and like I know everybody's like, "Oh, you can do that the bombing the dam scenario without taking damage," but like it's unnecessary that the hitboxes on those seaweed are so big. Like it's
Yeah,
already challenging enough to get through there if it was a little bit better and refined, but like they make it unnecessary hard that you almost guaranteed to lose at least one turtle doing that.
unless
And
you
then
practice it over and over again, which
yeah,
yeah.
and then we
And
all sacrifice Raph because Raph sucks with the size.
and he that's my guy, and he's the worst. You might as
He's
well.
awful in that game.
Yeah,
He's just a damage soaker. That's all you're doing.
yeah, he's terrible.
You're just like, "Oh, I'm gonna, like, eat up a bunch of damage in this level? Okay. Raph, go take it."
Yeah, Matt says Donatello for life. Yeah,
Yeah.
him and Leo. Actually, they're all pretty
Leo
good
and Dawn
except
are pretty good. Mikey's not too bad, but, like, with Leo and Dawn, if you stood up, like, with Bebop and Rocksteady when you first come across them, like, you can stand on top of the book crate boxes and just stab
yeah.
downwards and, like, kinda cheese that fight entirely.
But you remember you'd be walking and then you'd fight like a more difficult enemy, like one of those flame guys. Which
Yeah.
again, I don't know if these enemies were from the Eastman and Laird comic book. I haven't like flame guy. I don't know where he's from, but you'd finally beat him, and then you go back a little bit to dodge whatever, and then come back, and he's back again. It's like Terry
Yeah, that's
guy.
like yeah. Well, that's a limitation of the tech too, though, right?
Sure,
Because it didn't save what your progress was, so it just every time you get to the same board, it always refreshed.
made it 10 times harder, but they wouldn't refresh your damn health, would they? Yeah. Um, so yeah, so here we go with the Turtles. This is a conversion of the arcade game, which is still one of the greatest arcade games in history,
Hands down.
and very formula for Konami, which just was the time I was fine. We saw this engine with X-Men, we saw this engine with The Simpsons, Turtles, the same game pretty much with a different coat of paint. But hey, I would have all of those. Do you have The Simpsons one up? I can't remember.
Mm-mm.
No, neither
No,
do
because it
I.
wasn't enough for me to buy that. I like the Simpsons arcade game, but it wasn't like that's pretty much all that's on that one up arcade. So it's like just for the one.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day too, my buddy Gerald and me, how they've raised the prices for one ups.
Mm.
So now it doesn't even make any sense to get them. You might as well just go vintage and get the cabinet, right? Like,
Yeah, if you can, right? Like if you can find them. The problem here in Canada is like it's hard to find those as is.
yeah,
In the States, it's more prevalent because it's obviously bigger and it was more like there's a lot more arcades there. But here, like we didn't have that many. And then trying to get one of those across the border, good luck.
good luck. Game Radar top three is that Baldur's Gate 3, Mass Effect 2, Witcher 3.
Mhm.
So that's what they're saying. Go Ninja, go Ninja, go.
Go,
Remember that? Vanilla Ice,
go,
baby,
go,
all day.
go, go, go. That was a great song.
I like the arrows. You go here, then you go here, then you go here. That's right. Just
Go
represents about
straight.
3 seconds here that takes.
It's
So
still
cool.
cool though.
It is cool.
Such a good game.
And it really is a great magazine. It's still, I think EGM's still the best. Anyway, yeah, look at the turtle vein. A little bit out of scale, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's so huge compared to like April. Looks like she's like super small.
It's like a Winnebago. WillLo, you just got to intimidate the border guards with your New York accent over here. They'll let you right through.
Exactly. They'll just throw me into into a Canadian jail where I'll be fed poutine for the rest of my life. Actually,
Willie,
it's not that
do you
bad.
have Facebook? Because Jay, I can't find you. Well, again, my Facebook is just my name, and it's me with a guitar. That's it. It's not hidden. It's a public account. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man. Willie's
I
got
know there
Facebook.
there is issues sometimes between like the UK and like finding stuff
Oh,
in
okay,
North
that might be it.
America. I have had that experience because I know a friend of mine who tried to add me from Scotland. We couldn't find each other. You had to like Google it to bring it up to find the account, and then you can add that way. It was really weird.
That seems unnecessary.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Why they would do that? Yeah,
Mhm.
you might have to just use Google Christoph and look that way. Yeah, but Christoph's in Poland, right? Cutthroat, so it's different.
Yeah.
More beautiful maps. There's Krang. Oh wow, they show the end shredder.
Yeah, the Technodrome.
Yeah, so good. Remember fighting the Technodrome in the first one? Oh,
No, because I never got there. I've
dude,
only ever seen it in video.
it's so dumb. It's so dumb. Enter to win one of these great game systems. You can win a TurboGrafx, a Genesis, or a Lynx. Electronic Gaming Monthly $10,000 great game giveaway. Do you think we can
Hmm.
still enter?
Why don't we try? Where we go? Nope.
Get set for the most spectacular video game contest enter. EGM is giving away more than $10,000 worth of video games and equipment throughout 1991. Oh, I think we might be too.
We're a
Oh
little bit
yeah.
late. We're a little bit
All
late.
entries must be postmarked by March 31st, 1991. Oh, we're just shy.
We just missed it, friends. Next time.
Son of a lips. Poutine is a major food group in Canada.
Yeah.
You got that right, speaking moistly. You got that right, brother.
I could have poutine all the time.
So
Then I'd
good
die of
for
a heart
you.
attack, but
So good for you, too. Thunder Force 3 game over, man. The game over section, of course, is the ending screens of a game. So there you go. I'm blown away back then that they got such clear shots all the way back then. Like, it's so cool.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah,
think,
these
like,
screenshots are way better than a lot of the other screenshots that they get.
when do you think when did the home capture card, when did that get released? Anybody know? Like, I guess that would be around the same time game streaming started. So what, 2010-ish, maybe? The earliest game capture? Because this is like 91, and they're obviously not just taking a picture of the screen.
Like, do you mean for the internet or like because
Just to
there was ways to register a feed through like like TV studios would do it where you put it through like a feeder and then have it
well, yeah,
simultaneously
like
broadcast. That's kind of the same thing.
how would EGM in 1991 get these crystal clear images? Because this is not a camera taking a picture of a TV.
Yeah. Yeah,
Anybody
there was
know?
some weird way to do it. I don't know. Yeah, that'd be interesting to know because we were curious about this a while ago. Remember, we were asking
Yeah,
like, how did they get some of the good picture stuff? Because some of it you can see that it's like, yeah, this dude just held the camera over top of the Game Boy and then they cut it out. But
Allison says, oh, let me highlight that. I went to Vancouver because once just to get poutine.
it's a good reason.
I'm not sure where you are, Allison. I think you're in the States, maybe. I mean, that's a good reason. Even like if you're in Canada, to go to Vancouver to get poutine. I mean,
You got to do cheese curds though. I'm not the
yeah,
shredded cheese poutine kind of guy. That's not legit. You got to get the cheese curds. Cheese curds
yeah,
are what makes it legit.
that's legit. They were supplied the pictures by the publishers. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, the
Uh,
squeaky cheese. That's right. Speaking moistly.
what's
Squeakier the
squeaky
better.
cheese?
That's
What's
like when you get the good cheese curds, they're squeaky when you eat them.
no, gross. That's disgusting. I don't want my cheese to squeak. I just want it to be nice. JT says, shredded cheese. What kind of savages are you dealing with up there?
Right? No, there's okay, listen. Sometimes I go to like, when Ashley and I go out for eating, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get poutine for like my side. Cool, because they offer it. And then it comes out, it's got shredded mozzarella cheese on it. And I get so frustrated.
You're like, this is incorrect.
Yeah, take it back. I don't want any of your filth.
Thank you again to Retro Mags. Again, if you guys want to follow us in any of our EGM reads, this is the site to go to. This is where we get our stuff. That was EGM 19, despite Willie putting EGM 18 here.
What?
Will.
I don't control any of this. I just show
Oh,
up.
yeah. I don't want no
I
squeaky cheese.
Squeaky cheese is the best cheese. You're wrong.
That's not poutine. That's some sort of fancy Italian dish. And Speaking Moisty says McDonald's actually has. Do they have poutine here? Do they really? I bet you it's beef gravy though. We need veggie
Not
gravy,
great.
or I'm not allowed to eat it. I explode.
No,
We're
you
gonna end the poll. Mario 3 wins. 60% over Mario World at 40%. There you go. The chat has spoken. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. The McDonald's poutine was okay. It's like if you're in a pinch, you want to get it.
But we have smokes here.
Smokes is that's only if like you're 2 a.m. in the morning, you're drunk out of your mind, and you just want something to
Well,
eat
when
that's
else
greasy.
you don't want poutine for an actual meal, do you? Like you always you got to
Yeah.
get hammered to eat poutine.
No, poutine's great all the time. Sorry, if you want to say it correctly, poutine.
Putin. Mushron, thanks very much, mate. Yeah.
Chili poutine. But that's like, is that really poutine or at that point, or is that like just chili fries?
I'm not a purist of the poutine, so you guys can tell me. I've had it a couple times. It's not my thing. It's too much for me. It's too
Get out.
heavy. Just for me. Vladimir Putin. What? Christoph.
Get out. I'm taking over the stream now.
What are you bringing up? A poutine? What are you doing?
You just said you didn't like it. I'm taking over the stream. That's it. You canceled.
Oh, okay. WillLo is streaming today. What's going on in your stream? What do you got going on?
We're going to be jumping back into some V Rising today. For anybody who hasn't followed me, I do have a YouTube channel. I have an idea of something that may be coming out soonish. I can only probably do like a video a month for YouTube anyways. But you can catch me live every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern time over at twitch.tv/WillLo. Right now we're playing a lot of V Rising and Valheim because they just launched the Ashlands update for Valheim, and
Ooh,
we're having a good time in there. Yeah.
Is my little house still there?
Yeah, it is actually.
Is it really? Everyone walks by and spits on it.
Like who built this?
That's where you go to the bathroom over there. It's like, oh, jeez.
What's this out here? That's the outhouse.
Maybe I'll get back to it one day. Will, protect me! You're like raiding this like castle. I'm like, oh god.
Well, we turned down the raids and stuff, so you shouldn't get a lot of enemies and stuff now. So
there you go. I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with us on a Sunday. This has been our EGM number 18. Number 19. My screw up. I'll be working on videos the next couple days, and I'll be back at you guys live Wednesday through Sunday at 10 a.m. I gotta get a cup of coffee here. So
yeah, the coffee, eh?
Thanks, guys, and we'll see you on the next stream. Cheers, friends.
Bye, friends.